Today's reading is going to be all about the divine messages that you need to hear the most right now for your highest good. So stay tuned as we unravel the messages that Spirit has for you. But as always, we begin by picking the pile. So we have 3 piles to choose from, and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. And this card represents pile number 3. If you know straight off which pile is calling out your name, then you can go straight down to the description box and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are new to pick a card readings, or you just need some guidance on how to best go about choosing the right pile, then what I would recommend is first trying to calm yourself down, get yourself grounded in this present moment. You can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths so that you could just calm yourself down, get rid of any distractions, any hectic thoughts that may be going on in your mind. And when you open your eyes again and look at the piles, see what is calling out to you. See what you are being drawn to. Maybe your eye is stuck on something specific. Maybe there is a keyword that you are drawn to. Maybe there is something that you feel intuitively. You feel a specific nudge when you look at a pile of some sort. So trust that intuitive voice and see where it leads you. Follow that voice. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen, and I want to say a huge thank you for being here, for choosing to tune in, and just sharing your support overall. It really, really means so much to me. So thank you. But let's get straight to it. So you chose the Lamb card, and feeling my way through it intuitively, I feel like at this time you are in this mindset where something is really important to you. I almost want to say precious. You seem to be in somewhat of a protective mode, or almost like wanting to keep something pure, wanting to keep something simple and good and true. There's an innocence here that you seem to want to, just shield away from the rest of the world. You want it to stay the way that it is. You don't want it to get tainted or ruined or damaged in any way. Let me turn this light down a bit. Sorry, it just feels like it's really bright. There we go. It feels like it's somewhat of a personal or sacred thing to you in general. You seem to be kind of in this bubble when it comes to this thing, whether it is like, regardless of what it is specifically, whether it is some other person, whether it is a safe haven of some kind, it can actually be a literal place for you. Maybe it is some sort of habit of yours or hobby, something you enjoy doing for the sake of doing it. It feels like there is this little piece of heaven, I almost want to say, that is for you and only for you. And you seem to want to keep it that way and keep it this beautiful and bright and uplifting thing. And maybe there is even this element of wanting to maintain it the way that it is. It almost feels like you don't want things to change. You don't want them to evolve or turn more complicated. So I feel this pushback energy towards allowing something to grow into something else, or grow into something more even. Especially, I want to say, if this is a relationship or a person, the dynamic between you and someone else, it feels like you want to prolong this period of time for as long as you possibly can. And there's almost this fear of things becoming more complicated, of things developing further and having to navigate some sort of new challenges or something like that. And again, I'm just giving this relationship thing as a scenario, kind of like an example. But whatever this thing is, it just feels like, yeah, like there is some sort of fear that is embedded deep into this thing, even though most of the time this thing seems to be in this sweet, wholesome bubble. Something, it even feels somewhat like fantastical or somewhat dreamlike, kind of like this thing that you can escape into from the real world. And yeah, allowing it to grow, allowing it to develop would make it more real, would take away the fantasy element or the dream element of it. So yeah, that is just the intuitive message though that I feel. So don't worry if this part is somewhat confusing to you or you are still not entirely sure that this is your reading. Stay tuned because we are going to look at the oracle cards now, and these are going to be telling us more about the biggest thing on your mind right now. So as you listen to these messages, it should be fairly obvious whether this reading is yours or not. We have Aries, Frog, we have an intuitive card, Lizard, and Vesta. Okay, pile number 1, we have this Aries card coming out first. And this is saying that at this time, you seem to feel quite strongly towards something. The thing that is biggest, or the biggest thing on your mind right now, seems to evoke certain feelings in you. And they seem to be fiery and passionate because we are dealing with Aries energy. So whenever we talk about Aries, there is always an element of fierceness, feistiness, maybe even the willingness to go to war for something that you believe in, something that means a lot to you, something that you truly value. And this is that sort of energy that is coming out here too, but maybe on a more subtle level, because we also have this Vesta here, and we have the Frog and the Lizard, which we're going to talk about in a second as well. But I want to jump ahead to this Vesta card because this seems to mellow out some of that Aries energy here. Vesta is very much tied to this warmth and softness and nurturing energy. So again, we get to the point that there is something that you're trying to cherish, something that you are trying to allow to just be, or you may even be trying to create some sort of perfect conditions for this thing that you are cherishing so much. And again, you seem to want to keep it safe, to keep it protected, almost like, like creating this bubble around it. Whatever this thing is, there is a level of sensitivity that you seem to have about it. I feel that with both the Frog and the Lizard, especially the Lizard card, but both of these cards really are talking about being easily influenced or almost like absorbing the energy that is around you. With the Frog, it's more so talking about this healing or purification energy. But for some reason, I feel a strong sense of being really susceptible to outside elements or to outside influences, and being almost anxious or having this level of worry or anxiety that those outside influences can somehow mess around with the thing that you are trying to keep safe. I don't know whether this is more of a specific message or not, but with the Frog, I also feel that some of you may be trying to take the brunt of some sort of outpour or outside influence on you. Like it almost feels like you are shielding this thing and kind of absorbing everything that you were trying to protect this thing from yourself, like you were taking it all on yourself. And yeah, the center card here seems to further indicate that you are somehow feeling responsible for whatever this thing is, and you seem to be feeling like it's on you to make sure that it has the best conditions, to make sure that nothing gets messed up. And I find it really interesting that we have these bees that seem to be transporting these bubbles that contain like these babies or these infants. And so it almost feels like there is some sort of greater vision behind it, or you seem to be doing this fierce protection for the sake of some sort of vision. But on the other hand, I almost feel like the level of protectiveness, or you being very aware or very mindful of what is happening around you, I feel like you may be so alert because you see how other people are doing things, and you almost want to keep your thing separate from how everyone else is doing it. So there is this level of autonomy, or wanting to do things your own way, wanting to stay on your own lane and not necessarily follow the trends or follow the masses, or again, not get tainted or swept up by everything else that is happening around you. So yeah, that seems to be the biggest thing on your mind right now. All of your focus seems to go towards keeping something safe and sheltered. But yeah, if this thing made sense to you, if you recognized yourself from this, then this is your reading, and stay tuned for the messages that we are going to dive into next, which is all about what the divine wants you to know right now. So we're going to get 3 separate messages out, and we don't really have any sort of framework this time. We're just going to see what the messages are and kind of free flow this thing. So let's see what is the first message that the divine wants you to know. Okay. We have the 10 of coins, the 8 of wands, and the 8 of swords. Zodiac sign wise, we have Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So I want to start off with a more specific message that is coming through. With the 10 of coins and the 8 of wands, some of you may be dealing with family members or community, or just a group of people that you either live with or that you are surrounded by the most. Kind of like your support system, I want to say. If you have those sorts of people giving you advice or sharing their ideas, kind of telling you how they think that you should do things, then that is something to be extremely careful of, especially because of the underlying energy here with the 8 of swords. For some reason, I'm drawn to the blindfold on this card at this time. And it's almost like Spirit is saying that it's important to not allow that information to get to you. So it's kind of a confirmation on what it is that you are already doing, most likely, where, as I said, you seem to be trying to stay in your own lane and not allow other people to interfere with your plan, your trajectory. So that is definitely a confirmation to keep doing that and almost zone out or tune out what sort of opinions or ideas or advice may be coming your way, especially if you feel like it's not really aligning with what you are trying to do yourself. But the other message that I feel here is that staying on course and not changing your tactics is a really important thing right now. Just staying true to what works and keeping your eye on the prize, keeping your energy focused, not allowing yourself to get scattered or drawn into 100 different directions. There is something really really important about that. I feel like it's going to take you to where you need to go, but there may be something that could almost tempt you in some regard to share your attention or divide your attention. But the Eight of Swords is again saying that you kind of need to turn a blind eye to it, or tune it out. You know, stay where you are. Keep your feet planted and just stick with what this is, with where you are at right now. That seems to be really, really important. Okay, let's see what the other message is. Okay. We have the Six of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So zodiac sign wise, we have Leo, we also have Cancer, and we have Capricorn. So with the Six of Wands and the Two of Cups, Spirit wants you to only share the more intimate details or open up more about this thing that you are working on, this thing that you are trying to protect and nurture. Keep it safe until it has become something. With the Six of Wands, there is this need for it to grow into some sort of maturation or reach some level of accomplishment, reach some sort of maturity, so that it's actually a thing, something that you can really share and talk about and open up about, something that would be more tangible, I want to say. Because right now it feels like there is something very fragile, or it almost feels like a fledgling, I want to say. And I feel like when you do nurture it into something, and I feel like nurturing is again a super important keyword here because of this Queen of Pentacles card 2 being the underlying energy. So once it has become something, once you have nurtured this thing into something more tangible, something more real, that is when I feel like people are really going to look up to you and celebrate your tactic or your approach. There may even be somewhat of a you may even become somewhat of a leader or like an authority figure or something like that, where people may turn to you for advice once they have seen how well your method has worked. But again, it's one of those things that you kind of need to let your actions speak for you before you start bringing other people into this process, into this thing. But I also want to say, I don't know who needs to hear this. This may be more of a specific message, but if this is like a relationship thing for you, a relationship in its beginning stages, or something that you are still trying to figure out between yourself and someone else, even if it's like, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, by the way, either. This can be a business partnership or a friendship or something like that, whatever it is. You may be fearful of opening up about some more personal things, about some more intimate things or more vulnerable things about yourself, because again, it seems like you don't want to either like scare the other person off, or you don't want to shake the boat, or like I feel like there is some sort of fear that is keeping you from divulging too much or opening up or sharing some of the things that are truly meaningful to you. So if that is you, if you recognize yourself in this and you resonate with the scenario of being afraid of this thing like developing further and how it might change the dynamic, I feel with the Two of Cups especially, that I feel like honesty is a really valuable key element here, and you may be surprised how well it is received if you open up about something that you may feel like you have to keep to yourself, or you're like you have to hide for some amount of time at least. I feel like you may be surprised, and it may actually even strengthen the connection and kind of like bring you closer together or create a stronger foundation. But let's see what the third message is. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Five of Coins. So zodiac sign wise, we have more Cancerian energy coming through, and also Taurus. So with the Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups, one of the messages that I'm feeling here is that someone out here definitely needs to be a bit more connected to your friends and to your social group, because it feels like you may be giving a bit too little attention, too little energy, too little affection to those dynamics, to those ties. And there may be these people, they may be starving for your affection, they may be starving for your attention. And it's obviously something that is really important to you, the thing that you are so focused on, the thing that you are trying to nurture. But yeah, it's crucial that you don't neglect or you don't forget about the other relationships in your life, or the other things. They don't even have to be relationships per se, but just other things that fill you up, other things that bring you joy, that bring you fulfillment, that give your life this zest or oomph, right? So anything that you do for joy, for fun, for pleasure, all of those things are important things to look after. And especially because of the Ace of Cups here too, this may also talk about just your own emotional well-being. So making sure that you yourself don't lose sight of that, right? That you keep your own garden growing, like this emotional garden, so to say, and that you keep this balance at place, or in place, I should say. Even though we haven't really had any Scorpio cards, but this energy feels kind of Scorpionic, where it's almost like really intensely invested into this thing. And yeah, it almost feels like you may be kind of going so deep into this rabbit hole that you are almost forgetting about some of the other aspects of life and some of these other life areas that are also really important, and that also need your energy, that need your input and, again, attention. So I feel like this is just a friendly reminder from Spirit to not forget about those, to not lose sight of those. But let's close the reading out with a last oracle card message, just some support or advice from Spirit to wrap this reading up. So let's see what they want you to take away from this reading. Okay. So, okay. You got 2 cards. So let's see what we have. Make time to sit with difficult feelings. Yeah, okay. I feel like this is a really important message here, especially regarding this Ace of Cups that we had as the last card. Is this going to focus? There we go. So, especially regarding the last message that we got, the Ace of Cups, I feel like emotional presence is a really important key phrase here. And again, you know, if something difficult does come up, if something occurs that makes you feel uncomfortable, that makes you feel a certain kind of way, again, I'm being reminded of the message that someone may be afraid to open up about that, or again, to reveal what you are truly feeling, because of like the fear of ruining the dynamic or messing something up. Please don't be afraid, because I feel like, again, there is something so valuable about sharing that, about opening up about that, and talking about the difficulties as well, not just about all of the good stuff. Yeah, that's where like this true bonding and intimate connection can come from, when you can be your true vulnerable self and see someone accept that. So yeah, I feel like there is this closeness that is hidden there. So make time to sit with difficult feelings. We also have don't give up hope. What you want may be closer than you think. So yeah, a really reassuring message here. So this is really sweet. And at the bottom of the deck, we have don't rush yourself. There's joy in the journey. Yeah. So again, just being present, being there and being immersed in everything that you get to experience as you progress somewhere. I mean, even though that message was coming through quite strongly that maybe you don't really want things to move too fast or progress too fast, like you want to stay in that beautiful bubble. But yeah, again, I feel like the message of there is joy in the journey. There is joy to be found even in the ups and downs. That may be something that is valuable too. But anyway, pile number 1. This was a quick little message, hopefully, even though with me and my readings, they are never usually really quick, but it felt more quick than my regular readings. So hopefully these messages spoke to you and they gave you something to think about. Hopefully something of value. But pile number 1, if you are still here, by the way, if you made it to this point, then please leave me a frog emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you made it to this point and that you got something from this reading. I love seeing you in the comment section. I love connecting with you in the comment section, and it just warms my heart so much to see that you have taken the time to hang out with me. So yeah, I really, really appreciate it. But that's it. I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen, and I want to say a huge thank you for being here, for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. And also, I forgot to say it for pile number 1, but if you took the time to vote and help me out and share your opinion about what sort of readings you want to see from me in the future, then I just want to say an extra special thank you if you did that. It really, really meant so much to me, and I really appreciate it again. So thank you. But let's get straight to it. So you chose the Tree card. And what I feel intuitively off of this card is that something may be really rigid right now, or I almost want to say too set or too well developed. Like there doesn't seem to be that much leeway or that much room for change or adjustments. And maybe some of it is starting to get a bit too restrictive for you, or you may be trying to find a way out. You may be trying to branch out very literally and find new ways, new approaches, new methods, something to bring newness, something to bring more excitement into the mix. But I also feel like that whole rigidity may be existing on a bigger scale. Like you seem to belong to some sort of group or system, or yeah, something like that, where you kind of have to follow the norm, or you have to follow the rules, and you don't have a lot of authority on how things are being done. So there's almost this energy of being put in some sort of box. I feel like you are trying to come up with creative ways to play around with that box, to create some sort of opportunities for yourself. But yeah, I don't know why, but this thing feels a bit restrictive, and almost like there is a written or an existing sort of direction here that you maybe didn't choose for yourself necessarily. And I feel like you may be thinking to yourself whether that is really for you, whether that really suits you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel this weird energy of you trying to navigate your way through some sort of set of rules or norms that are very much set in place that you can't change, or that have some sort of rigidity about them. You seem to be trying to come up with ways to work your way around them, maybe to some degree, but yeah, you just seem to be trying to find ways to grow beyond that, to venture into something more. But anyway, that is just what I'm feeling intuitively. So, please don't make any sort of final decisions based on that. If you didn't really vibe with that energy, then stick around for these oracle cards as well, because these are going to tell us about the biggest thing on your mind right now. So as you listen to these messages, hopefully you should be able to recognize yourself much more easily from those cards, and then you can see whether this is your pile or not. Okay, we have the first quarter moon, Firefly. We have an intuitive card, Owl, and waning gibbous moon. So you have 2 moon cards. Okay. So pile number 2, we have 2 moon cards, and we have 2 cards that are both tied to the air element. And what this is saying to me is that you seem to be operating very much in this cerebral energy right now. You may be trying to solve or come up with solutions in your mind. So it seems like you are not necessarily trying like different actions, or you don't seem to be taking too much action right now. You seem to very much be in this planning stage, and I feel like the reason why you are not taking action just yet is because I feel like it may be somewhat recent, this whole thing that you find yourself in. It could be that, I'm going to kind of jump straight to this middle card. It could be that you have been working your way through this ladder, or through this again this system, or this set of rules, this norm, this thing that you exist in, right? You may have been working your way through that system or towards some sort of predestined goal for quite some time. And again, it seems like, even looking at this card, it seems like it's something that some other people have told you that you should want, or maybe even there is some sort of competition for that thing, for that position. So it almost feels like it was painted to be this desired thing, something that you should work towards, something that you should go through the motion, well, not go through the motions, but like go through all of these steps for. And maybe it is just now that you are starting to realize that maybe all of this effort and all of these rules and all of these hoops that you have to jump through, all of the like prerequisites that you are being faced with, maybe that's not really worth it. With this Firefly, I just feel like there has been this sort of spark, or this something has switched on for you. It's small because we're dealing with the Firefly energy. So it's not this big, massive, huge blow up energy, but it's something small. It's something that has triggered this curiosity in you. Maybe even this slight restlessness, this wanting to make sense of things. With the first quarter moon as well, this seems to hint at things being very much sort of in the process of like developing. It feels like you are gathering strength, gathering information. It's almost like you are working your way towards this like full-blown action plan or something like that. So yeah, and on the other hand, with this first quarter moon, I also feel like without you even getting to the point of getting to this destination, right? It feels like you haven't even gotten there. You seem to have already realized that whatever this thing is, that you want something different. That's also what I feel with this owl card, because this is saying that there is some sort of realization or this introspection that you seem to be doing, where you are starting to ask yourself questions and you're starting to doubt and you're starting to look at things from a different perspective now, maybe from a broader perspective. So yeah, with this owl, there is a lot of this wise questioning energy that you seem to be in. And I also feel like it may be questioning the whole system, questioning the whole way that things are being done, and asking like, but why are these things done that way? Why do we do all of these things? Why do we have to jump through all of these hoops? Why does it have to be like this? Like, who says that it has to be exactly like this? And I feel like that may be something that other people are not necessarily too happy about. Because again, for some reason, I feel like this whole thing, this system, like other people in it or other parties or whatever this thing is actually for you, but it seems to involve a larger group of people. It seems like they don't necessarily want things to change, or they don't see anything wrong with that framework, but you do. And with this waning gibbous moon as well, it feels like you are somewhat starting to pull away, or like, yeah, first off, I feel like you have certain realizations that you have already come to. But on the other hand, again, your enthusiasm or this willingness to follow that path blindly, something about that has shifted in you, where you seem to be, again, you seem to be pulling away and wanting to kind of start doing your own thing, or wanting to venture out of those rigid borders. And with this waning gibbous moon, I also want to say that maybe some of you have even been sharing to some degree the things that you have come to realize, or the answers that you have discovered within yourself as you have really started questioning all of these things, right? And again, I'm not necessarily seeing any cards that would hint that, but I'm just feeling it intuitively, that I feel like it's annoying to people, or like you are ruffling some feathers by expressing your concerns, or just kind of going against the grain there. So pile number 2, that is what is coming through here. If this thing made sense to you, if you recognize this, then stick around for these tarot cards as well, because now we get to the divine messages that Spirit wants you to hear right now. So let's see, we are going to go through 3 separate messages, and they are kind of going to be in this free form state, so I don't have any concrete questions that we're asking. Let's just see what cards come out and what sort of messages come out of those. So starting off with the first message, what is it that the divine wants you to know? Okay, so we have the 2 of Cups and the Ace of Swords with the Page of Cups as the underlying energy. I'm going to point out these zodiac signs as well, in case you recognize them within your own chart or with the people that are involved in this scenario. So we have heavy water sign energy coming through. We have Cancer specifically, which also makes sense with all of the moon card energy. So Cancer is definitely significant. But we also have air sign energy, which came out here as well. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, those signs may be important as well. So we have this 2 of Cups and this Ace of Swords. And with these 2 cards, Spirit is saying that it is really important to speak honestly and truthfully about what it is that you are feeling. And as you are expressing your truth, staying strong about it as well. With the Ace of Swords, there is this element of needing your truth to be heard, or needing to be really clear about what it is that you are trying to say. Because, again, for some reason I'm being pulled to the energy of people maybe not liking what you have to say, or there being some sort of resistance there. But it's definitely really important, because with the Ace of Swords being here, you seem to be talking the truth. Like there is something fundamentally right about the questions that you are asking and the ideas that you are coming to. With the Page of Cups being the underlying energy, I also feel like you may actually start finding some like sympathizers or people who see your point of view and kind of support your viewpoint as well. But it may require, first off, some time, but also some fierceness on your part to, again, like to not shy away from the people who are against what it is that you are saying. Because I feel like the people who do support you, who do see your point of view, they are there. They are just somewhat shadowed or overshadowed by the more loud voices in the mix. That's why I also feel like the energy that is coming through here as support is coming through as the Page of Cups, which is the kind of the smallest, the most fragile, right? So it requires some time to develop, but it's definitely there. And I also feel like having a confidant, having a friend or someone that you can rely on, especially if they are outside of this whole thing, someone that can be like a safe haven or a corner away from this whole noise and mess, that may be something that truly like solidifies and offers you more courage as well. But let's see what else. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. So we're getting some fire energy now as well. With the Nine of Swords, we have Gemini, the Queen of Wands is Aries, and the Ten of Wands is Sagittarius. So with the Nine of Swords and the Queen of Wands, I do feel very strongly that this Queen of Wands energy is talking about you, because it has that sort of renegade or rebel sort of energy about it, of, you know, being bold enough to go your own way and to do what you feel is right, regardless of what everyone else is doing. The Nine of Swords here, though, is saying that you may be experiencing some anxiety or some fear about being the one who like stands apart or takes a stand against the status quo, or again the system that is in place. But I do feel, first off, with the Queen of Wands, that you are definitely powerful enough to take this on, but also with the energy being the underlying energy being the Ten of Wands here, this is a very strong confirmation that you definitely have what it takes to go the distance. This is Spirit's way of reminding you that you are actually a lot stronger than you realize, and you can take on a lot more than you give yourself credit for. So you truly have what it takes. And so, yeah, this is just this sort of reinforcement from Spirit to not allow your mind to talk you out of doing what you feel on the inside that is right. Because again, it feels like the majority of your attention right now seems to be on your thought processes. You seem to be operating a lot from the mind, and you seem to be building up to some sort of point of confidence or knowing before you take any physical steps or before you take any action. But I feel like actually taking that action is what is going to alleviate some of these worries and some of these fears. Kind of proving to yourself that you can do it is what is ultimately going to bring about this feeling of confidence in you. Yeah. So let's also see what the third and final message is. Okay. Wow. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, with the Three of Cups coming out as the underlying energy here. Zodiac sign wise, we have Libra with the Three of Swords. We also have more Cancerian energy with the Three of Cups, and Earth sign energy with the Ace of Pentacles. See, I love the Three of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles together, because what this is saying is that the initial discomfort and the difficulty of breaking free from this system, or taking the difficult steps that initially are hard to do, like going against the system, going against the grain, and standing up for what you believe in, is ultimately going to take you to something really fruitful and promising, something that will bring you value and longevity, I want to say, as well. And I feel like it's something that you can develop or grow on your own terms. This Ace of Pentacles is bringing with it a level of freedom that is priceless, I want to say. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of up to you, and you get to play around with all of this potential that you can turn into whatever you want. So there is a lot of promise in this, in sort of fighting the good fight, fighting for what you believe is right, and again, taking those difficult steps. Now, the Three of Cups is the underlying energy, which is further confirmation that, first off, you are going to end up someplace much more joyful and much more liberated. But also, I feel like you are going to get a surprising level of support as well. Again, it seems to come afterwards, like after some time. I don't feel like it's something that happens right away, but you are going to find people who believe in you, people who support you, people who see what it is that you are doing and believe in that as well. So I really, really love that Three of Cups energy, especially with this Ace of Pentacles. But let's close the reading out with an oracle card message as well. This is just a support message or some piece of advice regarding this whole reading. So let's see what Spirit wants you to take away from this reading. Okay, you got two. Okay, we have open your heart to the changes coming into your life. Oh my goodness. Yeah, such a perfect card to end the reading with. Open your heart to the changes coming into your life. So it feels like it's definitely no coincidence that you are feeling this level of restlessness, or that you are feeling like everything is not quite right, like something needs to change or something needs to be adjusted. It's no coincidence that you are feeling that way. And we also have every season of life must come and go. Embrace the season of now. Even if things are in the process of change and possibly forcing you to leave something behind and take somewhat of a risky step, or something like a step that pushes you out of your comfort zone at least, then it is going to bring about new beginnings. The season of spring is going to come again. The season of summer is going to come again. So yeah, it's all in the name of something, and you are definitely encouraged to see the value in the place that you are in right now as well. Okay, and we also have do your best to stay grounded and in touch with your own growth. You are definitely growing here. So, and again, I love that we have this full moon, which is kind of so symbolic, because there weren't any full moon cards here, but just the messages of the moon and how you are part of that cycle, or that cycle of change. You seem to be definitely moving towards some sort of illumination or culmination. So yeah, really exciting stuff, pile number 2. I hope that you see it that way too, and I hope that you got some sort of reassurance from these messages. Hopefully this reading spoke to you, and if that is the case, if you're still here, by the way, if you made it to this point, obviously I'm going to ask you to leave me a moon emoji down in the comment section, because it was such a prevalent symbol throughout this reading. So please leave me a moon emoji, whichever one you like. And yeah, I would really, really love to see you in the comment section and connect with you there. Please Take care of yourself. I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, be good and hang in there. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen, and I just want to take a moment to say a huge thank you for being here. And also, if you partook in my little poll and you took a vote on what it is that you want to see from me, if you help me out in that regard, I really, really appreciate it. And I want to say a special thank you for that. But let's keep going and jump straight to your reading. So you chose the snake card, and what I'm feeling intuitively off of this card is that there is something super magnetic about you right now. Like, even when I was preparing the oracle card part for each pile, I kept feeling this energetic pull towards your pile specifically. Like, my eye kept drawing to this snake image. I feel like this immense power coming off of this card. And like the funny thing is, as I was looking at this image, I got the visual image of the snake Kaa from Mowgli. If you have seen the Disney cartoon Mowgli, then there is this snake there, and that snake has the ability to hypnotize everyone. Or, like, I'm not sure whether he was able to do that with the other animals as well. I don't remember that well. I haven't watched Mowgli in quite a while, years. But there was definitely a scene where the snake was hypnotizing Mowgli. And the point I'm trying to make here is that you seem to have this ability right now to masterfully play on certain aspects or people's like emotions. And like, I don't want that to sound bad. Like, it's not this, I don't feel like you are doing it on the grounds of some sort of malicious or self-serving intent or something like that. It just seems to kind of come so effortlessly to you. And I feel like it's really easy at this time for you to get people to do what you want, or to agree with you, agree with your plans, come along with your wishes or something like that. And again, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's anything bad about it. There's just something kind of irresistible about you. But I also feel like you are somewhat dangerous because of it. Because obviously when you have that power, at any time, you can decide to turn that to your advantage and to take advantage of people to turn that sort of ability into something that is a bit more ominous. But I don't think that that's what you are doing. I don't think that that's what you are considering even. But yeah, you definitely seem to possess a lot of power. Maybe, I'm not sure whether this is more of a specific message or not, but maybe you have wrapped a very specific person around your finger at this time. And maybe someone is just really like smitten with you, or really like drawn to you. I don't know, maybe you have done something to yourself as well. Maybe you have like perked yourself up, not perked yourself up, I can't think of the right word, but you know, maybe you have given yourself some sort of makeover. Maybe you have changed something about your appearance, and maybe you have this different kind of aura now, like this more, this like more magnetic, more attractive, more sexy, I want to say even. And even if you haven't done anything to change your appearance or to, shake something up in that regard, it could just be that something about the way that you carry yourself, or the sort of energy that you emanate or that you give off, like there could be something about that, your mindset could be different, and because of that there is this whole new aura about you. But anyway, as I said, this is just the intuitive part, so if you don't 100% resonate with this, then don't worry, stick around for these oracle cards, because these are going to tell us about the biggest thing on your mind right now. So what is it that you are focused on? What is going on in your head? We are going to dig into that, and if you recognize yourself from these messages, then it should be a lot more easy to make sense of whether this is your pile or not. Okay, we have Capricorn. Oh wow, we have Cosmic Egg, which is another snake card. That is so cool. Okay, we have an intuitive card here too. We have Panther. Yeah, see what I was saying about being dangerous. And we have the full moon. Okay, so pile number 3, your cards are somewhat confusing, I have to say. So let's just start from the beginning and see where we end up. So we have this Capricorn energy here. And what I'm feeling is that you could be in somewhat of a rigid space right now, or rigid in the sense that you seem to be wholly set on moving up or leveling up or reaching some sort of next level. I feel like you are full of this ambitiousness, is that a word? Like, you seem to be full of that sort of drive and passion right now to become something more. I feel with this Cosmic Egg that you are in the process of unraveling and becoming something much more powerful. Like, maybe you are even redefining yourself in some sense, because for some reason I feel with this Capricorn energy that something feels so old and done with. I almost want to say archaic. Like, it's so done its time that you feel like it's like you are ready to move on. You're ready to turn the next page. You seem to be, I don't know why I want to say hibernating, but it's not the right word. You seem to be in the process of transforming yourself or turning into something more. But the interesting thing is that we have the Center card here, and I feel like kind of differing messages here. On the one hand, this is a major confirmation to me that the things that you are saying, how you are expressing yourself, have this hypnotizing effect. It seems to almost like obscure people's views and opinions and kind of take over like the energies around you as well. You seem to have a very strong force of influence right now. But on the other hand, I'm feeling, especially looking at the pluses and the minuses, you seem to be struggling with trying to decipher the things that you like about yourself and that you cherish, that you kind of want to hold on to and maybe like hone even more, versus the things that you want to change, the things that you want to release, the things that you don't like about yourself and the sort of the old you. So there seems to be like this trying to come to terms with yourself and trying to figure out how you feel about certain aspects of yourself. So it's an interesting one, this the Center card. Now we also have this Panther. And as I said, there is this element of danger about you. I feel like you may also be experiencing some mood swings as well, because obviously you seem to be in this massive process of change, of transformation, of renewal. So on the one hand, this whole process may be upsetting to some degree. It may be bringing up some stuff in you, some emotions that haven't maybe fully been worked through. So there could be that. But I also feel like there's this fierce confidence in you as well, especially with the full moon. Like it's almost like there is this spotlight on you. Again, it's bringing me back to this whole magnetism aspect. It's like people cannot look away And you are, whether you want to or not, you are on display in some regard. You are definitely being looked at. People are, some of the people are definitely admiring you. Some of the people are jealous of you. Some of the people are just interested in you. So whatever you do, it feels like there is curiosity, there is attention. People are wanting to understand more, find out more. And maybe that is also another thing that could potentially get on your nerves to some degree. But I don't feel like you're actually expressing it too much or too obviously. It could be just something that you are dealing with on the inside, because like as you are trying to make your way through that confusion, it just may be somewhat irritating to have to deal with people's questions, because yeah, like if you don't know, then it's not the most secure place to be. But again, I feel like on the outside you look really like put together, really calm, really confident, really, yeah, just really on top of stuff. And so there's this whole like magnetism and power and this like pulsating energy that I feel about you. But again, I feel like on the inside, that's not actually what you are feeling at all. I mean, at certain times, definitely. But for the most part, I feel like you are actually having a lot of doubts, a lot of self-criticism, a lot of going back and forth, and this like inner instability. But yeah, pile number 3. If you resonated with this energy, if these messages made sense to you and you recognized yourself, then definitely stay tuned, because now we get to the exciting part. We are going to look at the divine messages that you need to hear right now. And the way that this is going to go is we are going to get 3 separate messages from the divine. I don't have any sort of framework that is in place, so we're not answering any specific questions. We are just looking at whatever cards come out and what sort of messages come through that way. So let's see what it is that the divine wants you to know. Okay. So we have Strength and the Hermit, with the 7 of Swords coming out as the underlying energy. I'm also going to point out the zodiac signs as they come out, just in case you resonate with them. So we have Leo and Virgo coming through very strongly here. And we also have some Aquarian energy. With the Strength card and the Hermit, I do feel that Spirit is saying that this whole process that you are in, obviously, again, we are dealing with some sort of major transformation, something that you are possibly going through for a longer period of time, because we have 2 major Arcana cards, and I mean, we have 2 snake symbols coming out as well. So this is massive, and like on a bigger scale for sure. But the message here is that, first off, with Strength, I feel like Spirit wants to remind you to hold or to keep your composure, right? To not allow any sort of frustrations or any sort of fears and insecurities to come out, especially with the Hermit here. It's a reminder to keep this process that you are in private, because this is between you, and no one else really has to be privy to the things that you are starting to realize, the things that you are thinking about, the fears that you are dealing with, basically all of this inner growth that you are doing. No one really has the privilege to be a part of it, right? As I said, it's between you. And so even if people are asking questions and they are wanting to figure out what is going on with you, they are wanting some sort of details or answers or something like that, I feel like with the 7 of Swords here, Spirit is basically just saying to keep it hush, right? To keep your cards close to the chest. And I feel like the time is going to come when you can share more openly, when you can, just more confidently and more surely talk about everything that you have come to realize, but I feel like the time is not now. And I feel like there is also a slight warning here. As I said, I feel like you are so magnetic and your words have a lot of power and a lot of influence, maybe even more so than you realize. So with the Seven of Swords, I feel like Spirit is saying to be extremely careful with what you say and how much you say, and if at all possible, to try and keep it like vague or surface level, especially when it comes to some sort of deeper aspects, or even the things that that you are trying to work through. Like, especially if it's more personal, if it's more like stuff to do with your vulnerability, or again, some of the things that you are outgrowing or realizing about who you are and who you want to become and all of that. I feel like it's really crucial to monitor and filter what it is that you say and how much you share. Because I feel like if you share from this space where you are not fully there yet, where you are still in the process of this transformation, you may give off the wrong idea, or you may portray something that you don't actually intend to portray. And so it may just cause certain issues down the line where you have to like deal with consequences that you don't want to deal with. So yeah, just be mindful, and if at all possible, try to keep this whole process private. And if you want to get it out of your head, just, you know, journaling, I don't know, maybe even blogging or something like that, but not sharing that with anyone, but just doing something for yourself, that may be of great use as well, just so you could kind of get that stuff out of your head and you wouldn't be so kind of overwhelmed by this inner noise. But let's see what the second message is. Okay. Wow. We have the World that came out in reverse, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords as the underlying energy. You are getting a lot of major arcana cards. So we have Saturnian energy, so more Capricorn and Aquarius as well. The Page of Pentacles is Earth energy, and the Ace of Swords is Air sign energy. Okay, so with the World coming out in reverse next to the Page of Pentacles, I have to kind of keep the World covered up because of the nudity thing, but anyway, there is a message of needing to take a closer look at the things that you haven't seen through to the end, or some of the things that you have maybe given up on the way, or that you have walked out on, or that didn't fully materialize into something permanent or something more long-lasting. I feel like with the underlying energy being the Ace of Swords here, there is some sort of truth or realization or like breakthrough information, something that is really eye-opening for you. And I feel like especially when it comes to your values or your sort of core beliefs, and those values and core beliefs are truly only yours. They are not the sort of beliefs and values that we get from conditioning. These are the values that we get to on our own, that we figure out on our own. And there is this massive power behind this Ace of Swords, which I feel is actually available for you to reach or to acquire. It's tied to taking the time to dig into or to look a bit closer to the things that you haven't, again, that you maybe didn't see through to the end, that you abandoned at one point, that you gave up on, or maybe even some of the things that you made a plan to pursue, or that you thought you were going to pursue, or that you maybe tried to convince yourself to pursue, but that you just didn't. And I feel like digging into that, getting behind some of the reasons, the motivators, all of those things, I feel there's something really eye-opening about that. So That's really what I'm feeling here. But let's see what the third and final message is. Okay. We have the Emperor and the Three of Cups. I swear, every single reading I do, there is one card that shows up in every single pile. At least that's what it feels like as of late. And in this reading, it's definitely the Three of Cups. But we have the Emperor, the Three of Cups, and the Seven of Coins. Sign-wise, we have heavy Aries coming out. We have some Cancer and Taurus. So with the Emperor and the Three of Cups, I do feel that Spirit is emphasizing how important it is to keep certain boundaries in place, especially when it comes to your group of friends or your sort of social circles, the sphere of influence around you. Maybe this is more of a specific message, but for some of you, I definitely feel like saying that when it comes to indulgences and just going overboard with the enjoyment of life or pleasure aspect of life, obviously that's an important part and it needs to have space in everyone's lives. But with the Emperor, there's definitely a message of needing to sort of rein that in and have a firm grasp on how much of this indulgence you allow. And yeah, that may be more of a specific message, but just kind of bringing it back to more of this general message. As I said, there seems to be this need to set some boundaries or to maybe even keep yourself a bit distant from, again, the sphere around you. And I'm not saying that you have to like shelter yourself or that you have to pull away from the people around you. Obviously, spending time with your friends and doing things that are fun and all of that is really important. But I do feel with the underlying energy being the Seven of Coins that it is important to pay attention to the things that you're trying to cultivate, the things that you're trying to grow, the sort of person that you're trying to develop into. Like, I feel like there is so much influence on the things that you are doing right now, the sort of people that you are surrounding yourself with right now, the things that you are putting your attention on right now. All of those things are playing into the sort of transformation process that you are undergoing. So if certain people that are maybe not the best influence for you, like, and I'm just giving you an example, right? If that's the case and those sort of people are around you, then they may kind of drag you down or kind of dampen the whole process that you are going through. And I feel like you really don't want that. I feel like you are really set on developing and growing into the best version of you. And so, yeah, keeping your eye on the prize and also honoring yourself, honoring your own needs, taking the time for yourself when you need it, especially when you just need to sort of sit with your own thoughts, figure some stuff out for yourself, like making sure that you communicate that to your friends, to your loved ones, the people around you. I feel like it's something that would really help them to understand where you are at as well, instead of just kind of taking offense or feeling like something weird is going on with you or something like that, like reading too much into it. So yeah, just informing people, but also, as I said, like taking the space to yourself, keeping your eye on the prize and being very discerning about the sort of indulgences and influences that you allow into your space right now as you are in this cocoon of transformation. Because again, it's all going to affect the ultimate result. So yeah. Anyway, pile number 3, those were the messages, but we are going to close the reading out with some oracle card messages as well from Spirit about just like support or a piece of advice, something that Spirit wants you to take away from this reading. So let's see. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. We have to lift yourself up, release what has been weighing you down. Yeah, so this is just a beautiful confirmation that you are definitely in the process of growth, of change, of shedding some of the old stuff, and yeah, just releasing what you have outgrown and moving towards this next stage in your life. Yeah, you definitely have to make some changes, and I feel like as you are transforming and potentially outgrowing certain people as well, certain situations, certain circumstances, certain projects, certain commitments, things like that, it may be something that is a bit difficult for people to understand or like accept or make sense of. So yeah, but it's definitely, again, it's definitely needed for you to level up and move in a direction that you need to. At the bottom of the deck, we have do your best to stay grounded and in touch with your own growth. Yeah, so again, to not lose sight of this process that you are in, to keep yourself grounded, to keep yourself protected. I'm being drawn back to the Strength and Hermit cards that we begun this whole messages part with. So yeah, just keeping yourself grounded, keeping yourself level-headed, and yeah, just staying in touch, staying in that bubble that you are in, and not, hopefully not getting distracted by other things around you. That may really help the process as well. But pile number 3, those were the messages. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to these messages. I really hope that you got something useful from them. If you are still here, by the way, please leave me a rose because of all of this alluring and sexy and magnetizing energy that I feel. Leave me a rose emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, you made it to this point, and you got something from this reading. I love seeing you in the comment section, and I love connecting with you in the comment section. So yeah, I really hope to see you there. And also, I hope to see you back on the channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself, and bye-bye.